Bruce Lee, then Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then who? Nobody. Why?
Bolo Yeung, Bruce Lee, and the untold truths that nobody saw coming. For decades, martial arts powerhouse Bolo Yeung stayed quiet about his experiences with Bruce Lee. But now, Yeung has opened up, and his explosive revelations are rocking the martial arts community to its core. He's spilling hidden secrets and exposing the raw struggles behind Lee's iconic facade. Fans are in an uproar, raging over claims that shatter the myth of Bruce Lee as we knew him. But why speak out after all this time? And what does it mean for Lee's unbreakable legacy? The truth will blow your mind. Bolo Yeung, the making of a martial arts titan. Bolo Yeung's story starts in Guangzhou, China, in a modest family amid the turmoil of war and uncertainty. Son of a businessman and a homemaker, Yeung showed no early signs of the global stardom ahead. But at just 4 years old, he dove into kung fu under local masters, sparking a lifelong obsession with discipline, strength, and mastery. By age 10, his raw talent pushed him into acrobatics and weightlifting, setting him apart as a prodigy in the making. In his early 20s, Yeung dominated as one of China's top powerlifters, but the rigid communist system stifled his ambitions. In the mid-1960s, amid political upheaval, he made a bold escape to Hong Kong, chasing freedom and bigger dreams. Life there was brutal. No connections, no safety net, just his skills and unbreakable will. He scraped by as a bodybuilding trainer at a local gym, where his massive, chiseled physique turned heads and earned him instant credibility. Yeung's training fused martial arts, heavy lifting, and sheer grit, crafting the intimidating aura that would define him. The bodybuilding scene exploded for him. He crushed local competitions and claimed the Mr. Hong Kong title for a staggering decade straight. By 1970, he was a legend in weightlifting and martial arts circles, but Hollywood, or rather, Hong Kong's silver screen, was still a fantasy. That changed when a Shaw Brothers studio scout spotted his beastly potential. Cast in a small role in The Wandering Swordsman, Yeung stepped into film. The studio loved his towering presence and cast him repeatedly as the ultimate villain. Intimidating, unstoppable. It typecast him, sure, but Yeung flipped the script, refusing to be just a brute. He tackled the challenges, language hurdles, cutthroat competition, cultural shifts. Drawing from his martial arts roots, he approached acting like a fight, precise, focused, evolving. Yeung transformed villains into layered threats, cunning, strategic, even philosophically deep. Directors noticed, audiences obsessed. Hits like The Heroic Ones and 5 Fingers of Death skyrocketed him. His signature build became legendary. But as his star rose, destiny threw in a curveball: Bruce Lee. Lee saw in Yeung a rare mix of power, skill, and star quality others missed. Their partnership? It would redefine everything, propelling Yeung from Hong Kong hero to worldwide icon and forever altering martial arts movies. Bolo Yeung and Bruce Lee, an epic alliance. Bolo Yeung's path collided with Bruce Lee's in the unlikeliest spot, a Winston cigarette ad shoot in the early 1970s. What started as a routine gig ignited one of cinema's greatest duos. Lee, already a force, spotted Yeung's untapped edge, a perfect storm of brawn and brains to elevate action films. It wasn't just business, it was a kindred spirits moment. Both obsessed with innovation, they bonded over pushing limits in martial arts. Lee grilled Yeung on his brutal routines. Yeung marveled at Lee's fluid philosophy. They trained side by side, swapping moves, debating strategy, blending brute force with lightning speed. These weren't casual workouts. They were intellectual battles, honing the art of combat's holy trinity: strength, agility, precision. Their synergy peaked in 1973's Enter the Dragon, the film that revolutionized martial arts on screen. For Yeung, it was surreal, sharing the spotlight with a visionary reshaping global views of the genre. Lee envisioned Yeung as the ideal foil, his raw might against Lee's sleek fury. Behind the camera, production was a pressure cooker. Lee micromanaged like a maestro, choreographing fights, tweaking shots, demanding perfection. Every scene had to pulse with story, emotion, raw energy. Yeung learned fast. This wasn't about flexing, it was narrative warfare through fists. The showdown between them? Iconic. Lee designed it to highlight contrasts, his whip-fast strikes versus Yeung's crushing power. Filmed meticulously, it became a masterclass in tension and technique. Fun fact, they used their real names, blurring lines between actors and characters, adding gritty realism that hooked viewers. Shooting was exhausting, dozens of takes, non-stop tweaks. Yeung admired Lee's zero-compromise vibe. He wasn't just fighting, he was sculpting art. Offset, their friendship deepened over philosophy, fitness, life's grind. Lee broke Hollywood's Asian stereotypes. Yeung battled industry barriers. They'd review footage late into the night, Lee's passion firing up the crew. But it wasn't all intensity, Lee's humor shone through, with jokes and one-inch punch demos lightening the mood. As a cultural bridge between East and West, the film exploded martial arts worldwide. For Yeung, it was a rocket to fame. His role as Bolo, the enforcer, made him unforgettable. Offers flooded in, leading to gems like Bloodsport. Yeung always credited Lee, "He taught me to infuse power with heart, that's the real knockout." Lee's generosity stood out too, he mentored everyone, sharing wisdom freely. Yeung soaked it up, evolving his craft. Tragically, Enter the Dragon was Lee's swan song, but for Yeung, it was liftoff. Their bond? A testament to collaboration's magic, inspiring generations. The jaw-dropping disclosures. When Bolo Yeung finally unloaded about Bruce Lee, the martial arts world wasn't ready. His raw honesty unveiled Lee's genius, grit, and hidden battles, thrilling yet rattling fans who worshipped Lee as untouchable. Yeung painted a fuller portrait, awe-inspiring, yet profoundly human. Lee's obsession? Total mastery. On Enter the Dragon, he wasn't just acting, he owned it. Choreographing every clash, he'd drill sequences endlessly for visual punch and emotional depth. No doubles, no fakes, pure authenticity. Yeung remembered 20+ takes per scene, Bruce demanded excellence. Compromise wasn't in his vocabulary. Even downtime? Lee rehearsed, ideated, philosophized. The film was his manifesto, thrusting martial arts global. Yeung slammed today's CGI-heavy flicks. They're fake fireworks, cartoons, not combat. Lee's fights drove plot, revealed souls, rooted in real skill over spectacle. Yeung urges, revive that purity, honor the craft. On Lee's regimen, diet was key, lean proteins, veggies, wholes for peak fuel. Training mixed classics with cutting edge, isometrics, resistance for deep muscle power without losing speed. Mental game? Visualization, meditation, mind over matter. Bruce built empires in his head, Yeung said. But the bombshells? Lee's vulnerabilities. Amid fame's glare, he battled exhaustion, family guilt, industry bias. As Asia's trailblazer, he shouldered stereotypes' weight, sparking headaches and seizures. Yeung saw the toll. He gave everything, but it cost him. These truths humanize Lee, not flawless, but fiercely driven. His legacy? Deeper, more relatable, proving greatness thrives on struggle. What Bruce Lee really wasn't. Bolo Yeung's bombshells have cracked Bruce Lee's mythic armor, revealing a multifaceted man beneath the legend. While full of praise, Yeung's candor exposes realities that clash with fan ideals, sparking fury and fascination alike. Myth 1. Lee as invincible warrior. No one's unbeatable, Yeung insists. Lee's Jeet Kune Do thrived on adaptability, embracing losses as lessons. He'd spar in tough spots to evolve. Genius in growth, not godhood. Myth 2. Pure traditionalist. Far from it, Lee innovated wildly, blending boxing, fencing, judo into a practical powerhouse. He respected roots like Wing Chun but ditched rigidity for what worked. Yeung watched him fuse styles on the fly. He was a rebel creator. Myth 3. Born prodigy. Nope, relentless hustle. Lee's science-like experiments with plyometrics, isometrics? Ahead of the curve. Talent starts it, discipline finishes, Yeung says. Shocker, Lee's confidence masked doubts. Perfectionism bred insecurity, he'd question his path despite triumphs. Fame's price? Family time lost, health hits, underpayment in a biased industry. Fans rage. Humanizing their hero feels like betrayal. But Yeung's truth honors Lee, a trailblazer of grit, innovation, sacrifice. Their saga? A blueprint for authenticity's power, Bruce Lee, and the explosive secrets that could rewrite martial arts history. Imagine this. For over 5 decades, the towering titan of kung fu films, Bolo Yeung, kept his lips sealed about his intense bond with Bruce Lee. No interviews, no leaks, just silence. But now, at long last, Yeung has unleashed a torrent of revelations that's sending seismic shocks through the martial arts universe. He's peeling back the curtain on hidden truths, brutal struggles, and the raw humanity behind Lee's godlike image. Fans are exploding in debates, some cheering the honesty, others furious that their idol's pedestal is cracking. Was Bruce Lee the flawless warrior we've idolized, or something far more complex, and even vulnerable? Why spill the beans now, after all these years? And what does it mean for a legacy that's inspired millions? Buckle up, these answers aren't just astounding, they're game changers that might make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the dragon himself. Bolo Yeung, from humble roots to unstoppable force. Picture a young boy in war-torn Guangzhou, China, dodging chaos in a world flipped upside down. That's where Beyond the Lookout Yeung's epic saga begins. Born to a simple businessman dad and a devoted homemaker mom, with zero hints of the blockbuster fame awaiting him. But fate had other plans. At a tender 4 years old, little Yeung stumbled into a local dojo and fell head over heels for kung fu. Under grizzled masters, he absorbed strikes, stances, and the iron discipline that would become his superpower. It wasn't just play, it was a fire igniting in his soul, pushing him toward physical godhood. Fast forward to age 10, and Yeung's not content with punches alone. He's flipping into acrobatics, heaving weights that would crush lesser kids, his body transforming into a machine of pure potential. By his early 20s, he's China's undisputed powerlifting king, bench-pressing mountains and leaving competitors in the dust. But here's the twist. Communist China was a cage, stifling dreams with red tape and revolution. In the turbulent mid-1960s, Yeung made a heart-pounding choice. Flee to Hong Kong, land of opportunity, with nothing but his fists and a burning hunger to conquer. Hong Kong? It hit like a roundhouse kick. No money, no friends, just survival mode. Yeung hustled as a bodybuilding trainer in a dingy gym, where his colossal chest and rippling muscles turned skeptics into believers overnight. His secret sauce? A killer fusion of martial arts precision, bodybuilding brutality, and non-stop grind. He didn't just train, he sculpted himself into a walking legend. The bodybuilding circuit bowed down. He demolished contests, snagging the Mr. Hong Kong crown not once, but for an insane 10 years running. By 1970, Yeung was the go-to beast in weights and warriors, but the spotlight of cinema? That was still a distant flicker. Then boom, fate steps in. A sharp-eyed scout from Shaw Brothers Studio, Hong Kong's movie empire, spots Yeung's raw, intimidating vibe and casts him in a tiny role in The Wandering Swordsman. Just like that, he's on screen, muscles popping, presence commanding. The studio executives? They typecast him as the ultimate bad guy, towering, terrifying, the villain you love to hate. Sure, it boxed him in, but Yeung? He's no quitter. He smashed through obstacles, mastering Cantonese on the fly, navigating cutthroat sets, adapting to a whirlwind culture. Drawing from his dojo days, he treated acting like combat, strategic, intense, always evolving. Yeung didn't settle for cartoonish thugs. He infused his villains with brains, strategy, even a twisted code of honor, making them unforgettable anti-heroes. Directors raved, fans obsessed. Blockbusters like The Heroic Ones and 5 Fingers of Death turned him into a star, his signature physique a brand unto itself. But as momentum built, enter the wild card, Bruce Lee. The little dragon saw what others ignored, a perfect storm of strength, skill, and untamed charisma in Yeung. Their alliance? It wasn't just a collab, it was destiny's dynamite, blasting Yeung from local legend to global phenomenon and forever revolutionizing the fight flick game. What happened next? Hold on, it's about to get legendary. Bolo Yeung and Bruce Lee, the duo that redefined power. Ever wonder how two martial arts giants collide? For Bolo Yeung and Bruce Lee, it all sparked in the most unexpected arena, a Smokey Winston cigarette commercial set in the early 1970s. Sounds ordinary, right? Wrong. This chance encounter lit the fuse on one of cinema's most explosive partnerships. Lee, already a comet streaking toward superstardom, locked eyes on Yeung and saw gold. A brother in arms with the brawn to match his brains, ready to shatter action movie molds. It clicked instantly, not as boss and sidekick, but as equals obsessed with evolution. Lee peppered Yeung with questions about his iron-pumping rituals. Yeung geeked out over Lee's boundary-busting philosophy. They hit the mats together, trading techniques like prized secrets, Yeung's crushing power clashing with Lee's whip-crack speed in sessions that were equal parts sweat and strategy. These weren't gym bro hangs. They were masterclasses in combat alchemy, balancing brute force, fluid grace, and razor-sharp smarts. Picture them debating late into the night. Strength without speed is useless, Lee might say. And speed without power? A whisper in a storm, Yeung fires back. Pure magic. That fire exploded in 1973's Enter the Dragon, the film that didn't just change martial arts movies, it invented the modern blockbuster brawl. For Yeung, it was surreal, like stepping into a dream sequence opposite the man redefining the genre. Lee handpicked him as the ultimate counterpart, Yeung's hulking menace amplifying Lee's sleek lethality. But behind the glamour? A battlefield of intensity. Production was no joke. Lee ruled like a general, obsessing over every frame. He choreographed fights with surgical precision, demanding layers of story and soul in every strike. Yeung dove in headfirst, realizing this was narrative ninja work, mental chess wrapped in physical fury. Their epic clash? A symphony of contrasts, Lee's agile darts versus Yeung's thunderous slams, planned to the millisecond for maximum thrill. Fun fact, they kept their real names in the script, blurring reality and real life for an extra punch of authenticity. Audiences ate it up, feeling like they were spying on gods at war. Filming? Brutal marathons, 30 takes for one sequence, bodies pushed to the brink. Yeung recalls Lee's mantra, "Good enough is the enemy of great." Off-camera, their bromance bloomed over deep dives into philosophy, fitness hacks, and the grind of glory. Lee shattered Hollywood's Asian walls. Yeung conquered Hong Kong's chaos. They dissect dailies till dawn, Lee's fire contagious, inspiring the whole crew. But hey, it wasn't all grind. Lee's prankster side shone through, cracking wise or unleashing his legendary one-inch punch for laughs, cutting the tension like a katana. As a East-West fusion feast, the movie catapulted martial arts into pop culture orbit. For Yeung, it was warp speed to fame. His Bolo enforcer role became eternal, spawning gigs and hits like Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeung never forgets. Bruce showed me how to channel raw power into raw emotion. That's the knockout that lasts. And Lee's big-hearted vibe? He mentored rookies on set, dropping wisdom bombs freely. Yeung evolved under that glow. Sadly, Enter the Dragon capped Lee's career, but launched Yeung's. Their story? A blueprint for bonds that build empires, still fueling fighters and filmmakers today. But wait, the real drama? It's in what Yeung held back, until now. The mind-blowing revelations that shook the world. When Bolo Yeung finally cracked open the vault on Bruce Lee, the martial arts scene didn't just buzz, it erupted. His no-holds-barred truths unveiled a Lee who was genius-level driven, yet achingly human, revelations that dazzle and disturb, forcing fans to confront the man beyond the myth. Buckle in, these aren't fluffy anecdotes. They're seismic shifts. Lee's hustle? Off the charts. On Enter the Dragon, he wasn't the star, he was the engine. Choreographing chaos into art, he'd grind through 25 takes for one flawless flip, weaving emotion into every elbow. No wires, no cheats, just blood-sweat authenticity. Yeung dishes, Bruce lived the film. Breaks? He'd shadowbox ideas or debate dojo doctrines. It was his global manifesto, proving martial arts could conquer cultures. Yeung doesn't mince words on today's action slop. CGI junk? It's cartoon capers, not combat poetry. Lee's scenes pulsed with purpose, advancing plots, bearing characters' guts through grounded grit. No flashy fluff, just technique that timelessly thrills. Yeung's plea? Filmmakers, steal from Bruce, bring back the real roar. Dive deeper, Lee's fuel game was elite. Diets dialed in proteins, greens, holes for warrior energy. Training? A mad scientist brew. Ancient forms meets future tech like isometrics and bands for core-crushing power without bulk drag. Mental mastery? Meditation marathons, visualizing victories. Bruce forged fortresses in his mind, Yeung says. True power? It's brain over brawn. But the gut punches? Lee's shadows. Fame's blaze burned him. Exhaustion from non-stop hustles, guilt over family FaceTime lost in the spotlight. As Asia's barrier buster, he carried the world's weight, fighting biases that fueled migraines and meltdowns. Yeung witnessed the wear. He poured out his soul, but the cost? Crushing. These layers? They don't dim Lee's light, they amplify it, showing legends are forged in fire, flaws and all. What Bruce Lee really wasn't, busting the myths wide open. Bolo Yeung's truth bombs have dynamited Bruce Lee's mythic throne, exposing a warrior who's brilliantly real, not robotically perfect. Full of fist pumps for his pal, Yeung's honesty flips fan scripts, igniting love, hate, and heated forums. Ready to rethink the icon? First myth bust, Lee as undefeatable demigod. Invincible? Nah, he's human dynamite, Yeung counters. Jeet Kune Do's magic? Adapt or die, embracing epic fails as evolution fuel. Yeung spills on spars where Lee self-sabotaged spots to claw back wins. His edge? Learning from the ledge, not lounging on laurels. Second, stuck in tradition stickler. Total fiction, Lee was a style-smashing rebel, mashing boxing hooks, fencing feints, judo throws into a street-smart storm. Roots respected? Sure, Wing Chun whispers and Tai Chi flows, but rigidity? Tossed like yesterday's trash. Young-eyed experiments. He'd blend beasts into beauties, pure innovation ignition. Third, gifted golden boy. Laughable, Lee's legend? Labored through labs of sweat. Scientist mode, pioneering plyos, resistances for peak performance. Natural spark? Sure, but disciplines the blaze, Yeung affirms. Biggest bombshell, that iron confidence? Cracked with doubts. Perfection quests sparked self-scourges, triumphs tangled with am I enough? Vibes. Fame's flip? Family forsaken, health hammered, pockets picked by industry sharks undervaluing his eastern edge. Fans? Split like a board. Some rage at the realness tarnishing their titanium hero, others revel in the relatable rise. But Yeung's voice? It immortalizes Lee as trailblazer supreme. Grit-grounded, innovation-infused, sacrifice-soaked. Their epic? Eternal proof that authenticity wins every round. Did Yeung nail it by myth-busting, or should secrets stay buried? Spill your hot takes in the comments. We're dying to debate. If this fired you up, smash like, subscribe for more martial myths exposed, and ring that bell. Till next time, keep fighting the good fight.